Lilith, Hebrew, Lilith, is a demonic figure that goes back to an earlier class of female demons Lilu, Lilitu, and Wr. In ancient Mesopotamian religion, found in cuneiform texts of Sumer, Assyria, and Babylonia. At first known in Biblical Hebrew through her mentioning in Isaiah chapter 34 verse 14, and in late antiquity in Mandaean Gnosticism mythology and Jewish mythology sources from 500 CE onwards, where Lilith appears in magical stories historiola in various concepts and localities that partially reflect descriptions of her in the Babylonian Talmud Eruvin 100b, Niddah 24b Shabbat 151b, Baba Batra 73a, or as Adam's first wife the Book of Adam and Eve, or in the Zohar Leviticus 19a a hot fiery female who first cohabited with man. Lilith continues to serve as source material in modern Western culture, literature, occultism, fantasy, and horror. In some Jewish folklore, such as the satiric alphabet of Sirach c. AD 700-1000, Lilith appears as Adam's first wife, who was created at the same time Rosh Hashanah and from the same clay as Adam. Compare Genesis chapter 1 verse 27. This contrasts with Eve, who was created from one of Adam's ribs, Genesis chapter 2 verse 22. The legend of Lilith developed extensively during the Middle Ages, in the tradition of Agadah, the Zohar, and Jewish mysticism. For example, in the 13th century writings of Isaac ben Jacob ha-Cohen, Lilith left Adam after she refused to become subservient to him and then would not return to the Garden of Eden after she had coupled with the archangel Samael. Interpretations of Lilith found in later Jewish materials are plentiful, but little information has survived relating to the Sumerian, Akkadian, Assyrian and Babylonian view of this class of demons. While researchers almost universally agree that a connection exists, recent scholarship has disputed the relevance of two sources previously used to connect the Jewish Lilith to an Akkadian Lilitu, the Gilgamesh Appendix and the Arslan Tash amulets. See below for discussion of these two problematic sources. Other scholars, such as Lowell K. Handy, agree that Lilith derives from Mesopotamian demons but argue against finding evidence of the Hebrew Lilith in many of the epigraphical and artifactual sources frequently cited as such, e.g., the Sumerian Gilgamesh fragment, the Sumerian incantation from Arslan Tash. In Hebrew language texts, the term Lilith or Lilith translated as night creatures, night monster, night hag, or screech owl first occurs in a list of animals in Isaiah chapter 34 verse 14, either in singular or plural form according to variations in the earliest manuscripts. The Isaiah chapter 34 verse 14 Lilith reference does not appear in most common Bible translations such as KJV and NIV. Commentators and interpreters often envision the figure of Lilith as a dangerous demon of the night, who is sexually wanton, and who steals babies in the darkness. In the Dead Sea Scrolls 4Q 510-511, the term first occurs in a list of monsters. Jewish magical inscriptions on bowls and amulets from the 6th century AD onwards identify Lilith as a female demon and provide the first visual depictions of her.